Hi, this is Mike from MPB Model Supplies, and we're fitting a decoder to a DCC ready version of the Lionheart train's O-gauge small Prairie, and there are at this stage nothing on the internet about how to fit a decoder to this locomotive. Now, the first thing to mention is that it is absolutely not through the smokebox door. A lot of companies are doing that. Dapol's doing that with the O versions, but in this Lionheart O-gauge version, it is definitely not through the smokebox door. Even in the analogue versions, you can see that the speaker is already pre-fitted. To remove the body, there are little screws here, 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 and one here. And then inside you can see the 21 pin blanking plate. So what I'm going to do now is ease off the blanking plate and fit the standard decoder. So I'm just going to ease off the blanking plug with the trusty blanking plug removal tool, aka an old credit card. And now I'm going to put this chip on. I'm going to put the camera down because I don't want to bend any pins and I can't see what I'm doing through the camera. Okay, so that's the Gauge Master 21 pin chip inserted. Our customer didn't want a sound fitted chip, but you can see that all the connections for the speaker and the flickering firebox, etc., are all here, and they are contacted through the pins on the body there. So once we've got all this together, we will give it a full test. So we're just going to put this on the test track now and prove that it works before we put the body back on. Okay, so this is straight out of the box. I'm using an NCE power cab controller. There's absolutely no momentum on there at the moment, and it's very responsive. So now we're just going to adjust the momentum. So we're going into using the program track. Comes up the standard manufacturer 65, which is Gauge Master, and it gives us the decoder version. So we're going to set up the loco's address. So the short address will make 64. And we'll give it a long address as well. I'm choosing the loco cab number just so that we can actually easily identify the engine. Not going to enter config at this time. So now what I want to do is look at the CVs for momentum, which are 3 and 4. So we're just going to start off adding a little bit. So now we go back to the main control. And now it's got a little bit of momentum. You have to pause it. Okay, so I've set the momentum values in CV3 and CV4 to be 10. And that's just enough to stop it starting and stopping like a jackrabbit. So I'm going to increase that to 20. And I'm going to leave it at 20 because I think that is realistic enough without being too much. So now we're going to pop the body back on. You need to get the locating points lined up. And once the body's on and you can see that it's all on, we can start putting back the little tiny screws. Having a magnetic screwdriver really helps. Now, I used to own Land Rovers, still do, so I'm using the same principle. I'm putting screws in at either end before tightening them down. These are the most tricky screws because you've got to get past the vacuum pump on this side. You don't want to over tighten them because you don't want to strip the threads or damage the head. And this is the final screw, which goes in just here. These big round mounting points are where the cradle that a loco comes in, screw on, and there's various optional extras you can fit, but as this is a customer's loco, we're just going to leave him to fit those. So we're going to give it another test with the body on, and then we can reattach things like the roof. That was me pressing the emergency stop button there. So they're really nice looking models, and hopefully this has shown you how you can fit a DCC chip to your analogue Lionheart Prairies. And if it's not a job that you fancy doing yourself, we can do it for you. Thanks for watching.